It was an old, weathered sundial. From the dial I could see that the main doors of the house faced north. What are you thinking, Nico?
The fireplace. It looks familiar.
You're right. You know what?
In Marquez's photo, his family was standing in front of it.
I wondered if the notes could help decrypt La Malediccio. The first passage read, "And thus spoke the accused. In this ritual we find succor. Clad in blue, the perfecti take the form of the spiritual and look towards the rising sun, toward the tree of knowledge. Clad in green, the credentes look the other way, towards the setting sun, where stands the tree of life." I wondered what it all meant. I had to get closer before trying that. Marquez said that the painting contained clues only a Gnostic could solve. But when it was back in this room, all would become clear.
Ah, what is this? A staircase. I never knew. We must go up. We don't have much time. Stairs. Always stairs.
Oh my God, look at this.
Georges? Georges! What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company, run by a murdering swine called Gainen. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, Gainen was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
They shot Xavier? Senor Marquez's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
This Kenan, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there. making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, Gainen just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name Genan was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch Gainen's papers.
So you have lived here for a long time?
All my life. My father served here before me. In fact, he named me after Senor Xavier's favorite saint, Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock through his mouth.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. Can I have a look at the library?
No, I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night. I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what Ganon had been working on in that library. So, you have no idea what you did with the key?
All I remember is waking up in the old car.
Hello, little one.
Hello! Don't suppose you have any more of those rich tea biscuits? I've had it up to here with apples. I can tell you.
Mon Dieu, a talking goat? So it's true. Goats can talk.
Only when really animated.
George has a real thing about goats.
I know. Truth is, if it wasn't for George's fear of goats,
Yes.
we'd never get cast again, would we? Don't tell anyone, no, will you? For terrible wrath will descend upon you, etc., etc., etc.
Until next time, my sweet.
Radio Yorkshire. Today we'll be talking to none other than George Stobart. Hey George, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on.
Why did you actually go to Paris all those years ago?
I was getting over a breakup. I thought Paris would be a good place to recover. Peaceful, foreign, exotic, and with so many beautiful women. Who knew?
If that explosion had never happened, what do you think you would be doing now?
I'd probably be a lawyer, making lots of money. Of course, doing work for the greater benefit of mankind. Beautiful wife, 2.3 beautiful children, a pet, maybe a goat.
Have you ever thought about changing your beautiful hairstyle?
Actually, I have already. A number of times. 5, in fact, I think.
What is your definition of happiness?
A puzzling, thrilling adventure with Nico at my side. And she's in a good mood, too, of course.
I picked up what looked like an old diary. It was Ramon's. The library will forever be a shrine. No one will enter. I shall hide the key in a safe place, once I've eaten. I have just what I need and know what to do. Oh, beautiful lady, your eyes are so blue. I just can't stop thinking of you. Ramon was quite the budding poet. Our lives are entwined like ivy on a tree. That is what you mean to me. Nice. Hey, I was reading that. The floor of the car was littered with keys from sardine cans. Have you no respect for great art? Pretty indigestible, huh? The wind chime looked like it was made from old cans. I wondered if it was Ramon's handiwork. One old sardine can was bulging slightly. I fished around. There was something in it. And there it was, the key to the library. Ramon had been true to his word. This place was like a shrine. The trunk contained someone's personal possessions, at a guess, Genan's. I wondered what secrets they might hold. The map had interesting markings and scribbles all over it. Georges would be so jealous.
So, what is this place, Senor?
It is my family's chapel.
It's not like any chapel I ever saw. Where's the altar, the crucifix, the Christian symbols? And this fresco, what's that?
How extraordinary. It tells a story. It depicts the journey of my ancestors, the Cathars, and their escape from the hilltop fortress of Montsegur, with the Tabula Veritatis, from under the very noses of the soldiers of the Albigensian Crusade.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are the Cathars? And what have they got to do with the tabula?
The Cathars were Gnostics. They lived in the south of France in the 12th century, at peace with the Jews and the Catholics of the Languedoc. They preach that men and women are equal, that God is within you, and that the Church is an obstacle to salvation. The Pope found their core beliefs abhorrent. The Cathars accused him and his Church of corruption. He condemned them as heretics. When the Pope learned that they were the guardians of the Tabula Veritatis, he conspired with the King of France and called for a holy war to wipe them out. The Albigensian Crusade was a callous, ruthless massacre. The final confrontation took place here at Montsegur in 1244. The Crusaders believed that they had slaughtered all the heretics, but a handful managed to escape with the tabula. They traveled south across the Pyrenees along secret trails. They brought the tabula here to Catalonia to be hidden once more. Sadly, it was not the end of their trials. The Spanish Inquisition saw to that. Nevertheless, for generations, my ancestors continued to guard the secret of the tabula. So, you understand why La Maledictio is important to me. It will lead us to the tabula again, so we can keep it safe from those who wish to abuse its power.
The painting brought us up here, Senor. We need to find out why. Senor Marquez?
Yes?
Maybe the fresco is important.
Perhaps it denotes a dark time in our history. But wait, there is something strange.
Go on.
Each of the escaping Cathars is carrying a tabula.
But you said there's only one tabula.
That is right. So, why would they paint this lie?
Maybe to hide the real destination?
Of course, and only a Gnostic would know the right one.
It was a large marble statue of an old man with a beard. The statue held aloft a colored glass lens. These statues...
What of them?
They're just like the figures in the painting, and on the fireplace.
Indeed, they are the two pillars of the Gnostic faith in harmony. And the bearded one is Yahweh, Jehovah, God of the physical world. The other is known by many names. Hillel, Ishtar. He is the bearer of light, Luxfere, Lucifer.
Lucifer? So you guys are devil worshippers?
No. When he is in balance with Jehovah, Lucifer is the god of desire and ambition, driving humans to be inquisitive, to discover, to advance. Just as Jehovah, when he is in balance with Lucifer, is the god of order. Jehovah stands for selflessness and altruism. Gnostics worship the harmony of both gods in balance.
But what if one were to rule without the other?
If Jehovah ruled without Lucifer, then individuality would be surrendered. Mankind would be wholly conformist, mindlessly dependent, mere pawns of a controlling power.
And what if Lucifer ruled without Jehovah?
Ambition and desire would be transformed into unbridled greed, and man would lust only for wealth and power. Society would descend into chaos, disorder and war would prevail. Then Lucifer would be the devil indeed.
It was a glass wheel divided into 6 colors, and it looked like it could be rotated. Part of the lens was covered. I removed the small leather cover to reveal a crude crystal lens. Colored light streamed through and shone onto the fresco. It was a glass wheel, just like the one held by the other statue. Part of the lens was covered. The color changed from yellow to green. The color changed from green to turquoise. The color changed from turquoise to blue. The color changed from yellow to green. Just what this place needed. Bit of mood lighting. If only I had a few scatter cushions.
Amazing. The light is showing the path of the bonzome.
The what?
The sacred trail my ancestors took across the Pyrenees, carrying the Tabula Veritatis, from Montségur across the mountains to this town.
And which town is that?
I don't know. That I cannot answer. But its coat of arms is quite distinctive.
But how does it bring us closer to the tabula?
It tells us the route the Tabula took 800 years ago.
I think that's all we're going to find up here.
You're right. We should return to the hall. Eva will be getting worried.
Okay, we found the route of the Bonzom Trail. How does it help us?
It must somehow relate to the painting.
Papa, are you crazy? What are you doing?
I'm fine, don't fuss.
You got me out here to look after you, so let me do it. Ramon is outside keeping watch.
Georges, I'm glad you're safe. What did you find?
There's a secret chapel above the fireplace. But it's not your average everyday chapel. It's a Gnostic chapel. All laid out for worshiping not one god, but 2.
What?
I'll tell you when we have more time.
You know, I found some things too, which might connect with all that. Come to the library. Oh, could you bring the painting? I think we're going to need it.
It was a shield on which heraldic symbols had been painted. The scroll under the shield read Olot. The scroll beneath the shield read Figueres. The scroll below the shield read Tremp. The scroll under the shield read El Pont de Suerte. The coat of arms was exactly the same as the one depicted on the fresco. It read Berga.
What are you doing with La Maledizio?
Nico found something and asked me to bring the painting. I promised to take care of it.
Eva, go with him. Make sure the painting comes to no harm.
I should stay with you, Papa.
Don't worry about me. La Maledizio is more important.
Have you brought the painting?
Sure, why do you want it?
Because I found out what Genon was up to.
The Gainan who tried to buy the painting from Medovsky?
No, Genon who led the fascists here during the Civil War. Genon who then spent months here searching for something. And who vanished one day, leaving that trunk full of goodies over there.
You think he's connected to the Gainan who wrote the letter to Medovsky?
It seems likely that they were related.
Maybe. So what's the plan you've uncovered?
Take a look at this. It's Ganon's map. He was searching for something.
Searching for what exactly?
The Tabula Veritatis, I guess.
You think he found it?
I doubt it. If he had, then people wouldn't still be chasing after the painting.
So why did you want me to bring it?
See this scribble in the sea?
It's the same shape as the circles around the Ouroboros.
Yes. Genon thought that pattern in the painting had something to do with a map of Catalonia.
So, I guess we try to finish what Gainan started. I'd put money on those circles around the Ouroboros being places in Catalonia.
But which places?
Maybe the painting can give us some more clues. I lifted the hat out of the chest. There was something tucked beneath the shirt. I picked up the folded note. It was a telegram. I deciphered the telegram. The Tabula Veritatis was smuggled out of Montsegur to Catalonia by a group of Cathar survivors. I have confirmed this from confessions extracted by the Dominican Inquisitor Emmerich of Girona. It was signed Wolfram. I put everything back in the chest. The map had to be the key. The mountain range of Montserrat. The village of San Ramon.
Saint Ramon. Ramon told me he was named after a Saint Ramon.
There's also a saint on the painting.
Let me guess, he has a hefty padlock through his lips?
So, the coat of arms on the fresco pointed us towards Berga.
Then it must be important.
2 locations down. If the vignettes on the painting were anything to go by, I needed to find 2 more. This was one of the locations highlighted on the fresco.
And this was the starting point of the journey of the Bonan. The good man. The Cathars, right?
I'd found 3 locations. Now I had to track down the last one. The Dominican monk Emmerich was from Girona. The dog-headed priest on the painting. I could see a pattern emerging. The locations had formed an odd cross shape, similar to the layout of the orbs depicted on the painting. This is the center point of the cross, so the tabula must be here. Montserrat. It has to be Montserrat. The question is, what's Montserrat?
It's a monastery in the mountains, quite a tourist spot. But there's something else. I think it used to be a Gnostic refuge, hundreds of years ago.
Bravo, my friend.
Dovsky?
No, Langham.
No, it's Genan, isn't it?
Very good, Miss Collard.
So, what happened to the real Langham?
He went for a long swim in the Seine. Now, I was expecting to have to rip this place apart and retrace my grandfather's steps, but I do believe you have saved me quite a lot of work. The tabula is at Montserrat. Who would have thought it? The old man will be coming with me.
No, please, take me instead. He doesn't know anything.
And you do? I think not.
But he is old.
Eva, hold your peace, child.
You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. I will. Man is weak, servile, controlled. He must be freed, freed from all constraints, free to fulfill his desires.
And you plan to raise the devil to achieve that?
Not the devil. Lucifer. Now, if you don't mind, we have a long journey ahead of us. Come on. They can rot in there.
We have to get out of here now. I assume that lunatic is as dangerous as he looks.
I'm afraid so, Eva. I think he's killed before.
You know, Nico, we were chasing Medovsky, but all along, we were really up against Ganon's grandson. Look, daylight.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's a false door, Nico.
So that's why Marquez's father tried to escape through here. He didn't have time to open the false door.
Aha!
Great work, George. Come on, Eva, let's go.
We need to rescue your father and stop Langham before he gets the tabula. Eva, I think you'd better stay here.
Are you kidding? You'll need me, especially if there's a fight.
Eva, it'll be very dangerous.
Signora, you do not understand. It is my duty.
Okay. We'd better check up on Ramon first.
Sure. Then we will go and kick some ass.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Montserrat was way up in the mountains, a major tourist destination. But we went there as tourists. We had an old man to rescue and an ancient tablet to find. And standing in our way was a cold-blooded killer. Why would the tabula be hidden up here of all places?
For hundreds of years, the mountain has been kind of a sanctuary. There's an old Benedictine monastery up the hill.
Well, I guess that's where we need to start looking.
Wow, it's empty. Where is everyone?
This place is normally full of tourists.
I don't like the look of this one bit.
At least it's not monks with guns.
Don't even go there, Nico. Time to bring out the dumb tourist.
It's a role you were born to play, Georges.
We're moving away from the monastery.
Yes, but with those goons in the way, we have to find a different approach.
Maybe there's some other way around, via the cable car station?
Or at least someone in the can tell us what's going on. Someone's coming out. Quick! We need to hide. I think it's Langham.
Block everything off. Lock the whole place down, understand? The tabula's got to be up in the monastery. I'm sure of it. Come on.
Yes, boss.
Close all the routes up to the monastery, and then make the old man talk.
Yes, boss.
This time, don't be so gentle with him.
Did you hear that? They haven't found it yet, but Senor Marquez must be in a bad way.
Listen, I have to follow those bastardos. I might be able to slip through on my own.
Sure. We'll see if we can find another way up. You think she'll be okay?
Eva can handle herself.
Something inside the cable car was glinting. I couldn't make out what it was. Something inside the cable car was glinting. My God! Nico!
What is it?
This telescope! It's free! Wait, what's that? That rock looks familiar. Nico, take a look at this and tell me what you see.
You're right. That rock looks like a head.
I've seen that shape before. Take a look at this. The face in the Ouroboros, it's exactly the same shape as that rock.
That can't be a coincidence.
And you know what? Langham's got the forged picture, the one without the face.
So the rock won't have meant anything to him.
Nico, I don't think the tabula's up at the monastery. I think it's down there somewhere, around that rock. There was a small chapel perched on the edge of the cliff. It looked ancient. There were a couple of people stuck in the cable car. They looked kind of familiar. Then I realized it was my old friends Dwayne and Pearl Henderson. The Hendersons had an uncanny way of showing up wherever I went. They didn't know I'd seen them. I needed to give them a signal. The cable and wheel mechanism looked sturdy enough, but the thought of riding in that tiny cable car made my stomach flutter. I signaled them back. I wasn't sure they'd seen it. Pearl was mouthing something and gesturing. Pearl seemed to be writing something on the window. It said, "Help. Stuck. Door code 0797. The station door must have needed a code to open it. I wondered how Pearl came to know that. Pearl had given me the code to the station door. Come on, Nico. Pearl's given me the code to the door.
What? Pearl? Who? How?
Trust me, Nico. I've got friends in low-hanging places. Huh. There's no one here.
Looks like everything has been shut down.
A metal lunchbox. Someone sure wanted to keep their cheese safe. Whoa! Did you hear that? How about that, Nico? A talking lunchbox. Huh, what will they think of next? I better take it with me. There was no lock, but the door wouldn't open.
Go away!
Hello?
Georges, there's someone in there.
Are you all right in there?
Just go away!
Wait, please. We mean you no harm. Please, come out.
I'm staying right here until I know it's safe.
The control panel looked complicated. It wasn't powered up, and the smell of burnt electrical components hung ominously in the air. The cogs turned, but the rest of the mechanism didn't seem to be engaging. The control panel looked complicated. It wasn't powered up. The control panel looked complicated. It wasn't powered up. The console circuitry looked pretty complex and dangerous. The lock was too well made to be picked. Without some expert advice, the console circuitry looked pretty complex. The box was now wedged in the cogs, or rather, the giant can opener.
That's quite a mess you've made there, Georges.
You know what they say about making omelets, Nico?
You can't make them without strawberry jam?
Just as I thought, it's a two-way radio. Dwayne, this is George. George Stobart. I'm good, Dwayne. And don't you worry, I'll have you out of there in a minute. No, the console isn't working properly. I've got no idea why not. Cat? Is she the girl in the closet? Cat, I found you a friendly voice.
How do you know my name? Pearl? How did you get here? That's not possible. I'm not going to fall for that. Prove it's you. Yeah? And my favourite one is? Of information, vegetable, animal and mineral. From Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very good in integral and differential calculus. In short, in matters vegetable, animal and mineral.
I am the very model of a modern major general.
All right, only Pearl would know that, and I trust her. Who are you?
I'm George, and this is Nico. How did you end up in a closet?
There were some guys with guns. They took over the whole station. I hid in here.
We're trying to avoid them too.
I was quite surprised, you know. They never mentioned guns at the job interview.
Really? We need to use the cable car. Can you operate it?
Yeah, if the console was working, but they sabotaged it.
And there's no way to get it started?
There might be. Let me see. See that burned out fuse down there?
In the back by the prongs?
Yeah. The idiots stuck a spanner in there and blew the fuse. They wanted to make sure no one could use the cable cars. Connect those two prongs somehow, and the console should restart.
How on earth are we going to reach that?
I don't know. But don't stick your arm in there. You'll get fried.
Well, I'd done stranger things in my life. The paperclip was now all sticky. time for Trevor. I put his matchbox down. I stuck the paperclip onto Trevor's back. He was now fully equipped. Go, Trevor, go! Poor Trevor looked like he needed therapy, but the console was working. The console, it's working.
Cool. I can send you down there if you want. Let me just bring the cable car up here.
Pearl and Dwayne are going to be mighty relieved.
Oh, they must have been going down in the other cable car.
Come on, Nico. There's no time to lose. As we got closer to the face in the rock, I knew for sure that we were on the right track. It was definitely the same as the face in the painting, but with one difference. The symbol of the tabula was missing from the rock formation. Well, here we are.
But no way to reach the face. Let's have a look around. There must be a way up. George, the chapel looks like it's been built right into the rock.
You're right. We should take a look inside.
I wonder, how old do you think the chapel is?
I'm guessing the exterior's a couple of 100 years old, but the inside? Who knows? Some parts could be much older.
You think somehow this chapel might be connected to the face in the rock?
At a guess, I would say so. Hey, look, it's Pearl and Dwayne.
Come on, honey bun. Things ain't that bad.
You just don't understand. Today's been a disaster.
But
The monastery was closed. We got stuck in the cable car. And now this place is a building site.
aw, sweetie pie.
This was supposed to be the spiritual highlight of our trip, Dwayne. But the only spirit I see is that rotten turpentine over there.
Aw, heck.
Clearly, the Hendersons weren't having a great vacation. Wood shavings. This was one building site that needed Mr. Tidy. They smelt exotic. My mother always said cleanliness is next to godliness. Potpourri, handmade, Grandma's favorite. I sprayed Brett onto my experimental potpourri. One sniff would kill a man for sure. Great to see you again, Mr. Henderson.
Great to see you too, George. Great work back there with the cable car.
Is Pearl okay?
I wish. I'm afraid we're having one of those days where everything goes wrong.
Tell me about it. What have you been up to since we last met in Claramonte?
Well, there was that little sideshow in Rome, but we can't talk about that. You know why, George.
I do? I do.
Why?
Top secret.
Need to know, Nico. Dwayne is, snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No way, honey. A snoozer's at least 2 pay grades up from a sleeper. So I hear. Anyway, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, Miss,
Nicole Collar. Call me Nico.
Well, how's about that? So this is the beautiful Nico. No wonder you've been hiding her away from me, Georgie boy.
Gosh, no,
It's lovely to finally meet you too, Mr. Henderson. George has told me so much about you.
Oh, call me Dwayne, my dear. And let me assure you of one thing. Everything you've heard is quite possibly true.
Dwayne was loud, large, and short-sighted, but boy was he a charmer. Is there anything we can do for Pearl?
I sure as hell hope so, George. She's been planning and researching this trip for years, our little pilgrimage. And Santa Cova Chapel here was the cherry on the cake. Not a thing she don't know about this place. Madonna, blah, blah, blah. Chapel built in, yada, yada, yada. She's Santa Cova's very own walking encyclopedia. Well, weeping encyclopedia, I should say.
So what brings you to Santa Cova?
Pearl's idea from the get-go. Ever since the unfortunate car accident back home, she's been scouring those pilgrimage brochures. Gotta be full of wonder and life-changing imagery. Got to have penance potential. Got to offer a real spiritual experience.
Well, I'm sure this place will be very spiritual once it's finished.
If the chapel is not what she expected, how about the monastery?
Hot dog, no. That place is for tourists, not pilgrims.
You said she expected a spiritual experience?
No, that's what the brochure promised. Pilgrimages, little monk fellas, singing, shafts of light, the whole shebang.
Smells, bells, and heavenly lights.
Yeah, that's what the lady wanted. Oh, excuse me, Pearl needs me. There, dear.
Pearl could be a mine of information about the chapel if we could just cheer her up. Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, George.
Hey, that tune you were whistling earlier, it sounded familiar.
Oh, it's Schubert's Ave Maria. In our courting days, me and Pearl used to hang out with the Campanology Society. It was Pearl's favorite. Oh, excuse me, Pearl needs me. There, dear.
The scaffolding was a little loose. Everything rattled. It made a surprisingly dulcet noise. I poured the turpentine into the paint can. The hammer produced a promising sound. F sharp.
What are you up to?
Look, I made a Churchenspiel. G. B, if I wasn't mistaken. A. G. I had it. It was the tune Dwayne was humming.
George, that's Ave Maria. Let me have a go.
Wow, you really nailed that, Nico.
Yep, this mop really is pretty special. Leave this to me.
An old candelabra hung from the ceiling. I lit the candles on the candelabra. I rested the side mirror precariously on the candelabra. I secured the mirror in place with some yarn. I put the supercharged potpourri in the mug. I lit the scented shavings. A sweet aroma started to fill the room. Now that was something. The light from the candelabra spilled over the Black Madonna like waves of spiritual goodness in candle form.
Pumpkin? Oh my!
What?
The sound of angels, the lights of heaven, the smell of piety, and
Yes?
the Madonna, I do believe. Tears. She's crying, Dwayne! The Madonna's crying. Father, son, little Timmy. Wrong side of the road. Not my fault. The broken leg. Compensation claim. Forgive me, poor Timmy.
Oh, Pearl, my precious, you're such a sensitive soul.
Well, now that's done. I feel my soul's floating on air. We can get on with our pilgrimage, Dwayne.
Just another 1,000 clicks to go.
Pearl was back to her usual cheery self. Mrs. Henderson,
George, dear boy.
how you feeling?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I have just seen a miracle, George. It's all gonna be all right from now.
I'm sure it is, Mrs. Henderson. I'm sure it is. What can you tell me about the statue?
I read that the Black Madonna has been here since the 9th century. She's called the Virgin of Montserrat. Some say the original was moved to the cathedral. But Dwayne and I know that's just a bluff, don't we, honey?
We sure do. This one is the real McCoy.
What can you tell me about Santa Cova?
Well, dear, they call it the Chapel of the Holy Grotto. It was built directly into the mountain itself in 1696. It survived the Napoleonic Wars, mudslides, Civil War. But the chapel is still standing today. It's a miracle.
Or a restoration.
What was that, dear?
Yes, a miracle. What do you make of this?
It looks like an Ouroboros.
Oh, you recognize it? Let me show you something else. Can you tell me anything about this painting?
Oh, nothing, dear. Apart from the obvious Gnostic connotations, of course.
What?
You know, the Dominicans. All those Gnostic saints. Doubting Thomas, Judas. And you see the woman in the red cloak? The infamous Mary Magdalene herself.
A lady in red.
That's enough now, Dwayne. You know my feelings about her.
Pearl knew her Gnostic onions, all right.
Then there's the Ouroboros, of course.
Something special about it?
Well, if I remember rightly, there was an Ouroboros right here in this chapel. Back in the 30s and 40s, the chapel was renovated. The workmen uncovered numerous symbols carved in the rock. Amongst them was a fine Ouroboros.
But that's amazing. So, where is it?
Oh, it's not there now.
Oh.
It was considered blasphemous, so they plastered over it. Sweetheart, I think it's time for us to go. The road to enlightenment waits for no woman.
'Tis the pilgrim's lot, George.
It was so nice to see you again. And meet your girlfriend.
We're not...
Take this radio, Nico. Never know when you might need it. Keep an eye on our boy George here.
Poor little lost lamb.
I'm not...
Don't worry, this little lamb's in safe hands. Bon voyage.
Bye-bye, dears.
See ya.
Nico, don't even start.
Little lamb?
Let's focus on the task in hand, shall we? Okay, this Ouroboros that Pearl mentioned.
You're right. We need to find it.
I hoped this was the right thing to do. Hey, Nico, I found the Ouroboros.
So what now?
Pearl was right. The plaster had covered an Ouroboros. What was that noise? I knew it. Another secret passageway.
Amazing, George. How did you do it?
Just another case of the old Stobart magic, I guess, Nico. It looks a little dark in there.
Are you scared, George?
Of course not. Just worried about you tripping, that's all. Whoa, this is one dark cave.
It's the door that worries me, George.
Well, I'm sure the door will open again if we give it a minute. No need to panic. Now we panic. Help! I gotta say, Nico, you look pretty calm about this.
Traveling with you, George, I've got used to this kind of thing. If I panicked every time a door shut behind us, probably forever, well,
You're right. What was I thinking? You see if you can get the door open, and I'll go check out the dark, evil-smelling cave. Fumbling around in the dark wasn't going to be fun. But heck, I'd spent a lifetime doing it, so what was new? For a moment, I imagined falling forever in the dark. But it was just my imagination running wild. The floor was solid. I threatened the imaginary thing with the hammer. I felt better instantly. There was one response I could rely on for things that go bump in the night: a hammer. I felt better instantly. I had defeated the imaginary hazards before me using only the power of my mind. Langham had better watch out. It was stone with a recess in it and, an oily liquid in it. There was some kind of thin twine in the middle of it, too. Hey, Nico, I think I found some light. Whoa!
it must be Ganon. Ramon said he disappeared while searching the mountains for the tabula.
So this is where he ended up, dead in a cave. And on closer inspection, I'd even say blown your own brains out dead.
Okay, George, I get the point. What is this place?
Who knows? But look at the Gnostic symbols.
You're right. The colors, the trees. But who is she?
It looks like the Virgin Mary, but I don't think it is.
What do you mean?
The red robes and that whole off-the-shoulder look? It must be Mary Magdalene, of course. Marquez told me that the Gnostics revered her. This place, it's some kind of Gnostic shrine.
There's got to be something to release that door. Maybe amongst these carvings.
But if it was that obvious, don't you think Ganon would have found it? Ganon had certainly been busy before he blew his brains out. I wonder what he'd been up to. Nico,
What?
is this what I think it is? It must be the Tabula Veritatis.
So Genan did find it.
It's so small, so innocent looking. Why would Simeon call it evil? Why so many deaths for this?
And why go to such lengths to keep it hidden?
Unless it is as genuinely dangerous as Simeon claimed.
The question now is, what do we do with it?
The photograph was of an ancient clay tablet. Gainan had written on it. Someone, presumably Gainan, had taken the time to translate the inscription. At a glance, the inscription seemed to relate to the exploits of someone called the Sun King. The symbol on the tablets looked similar to the ones etched into the face of the Tabula Veritatis. I prized the map out from under the arm of the corpse. It looked like Gainan had scrawled some kind of last testament onto this map. My friends, I know that you will eventually find me, but by then it will be too late. I have decoded the tabula, and I know our destiny lies in paradise. The key to the power of God is in our hands. I die secure in the knowledge that you will now be able to complete my work. Tell my family that I died doing my duty, that I surrender my life gladly to the cause. In the light of the day, these words will fade, like our souls. But rest assured that when they do, their echoes will guide us to where we will meet once again. I'm not sure, but it looks like crafty old Gainan left a secret message in his testament. I picked up the old gun. It was too corroded and rusty to ever be fired again. When I held the map up to the flame, something started to change. The writing on the map started to react to the heat. Well, I'll be darned.
What is it?
At a guess, the locations on the map might match up with the ones he's marked on this photograph.